Welcome to the Lost and Home Podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Jeremiah Johnson.
And we are back after a week hiatus. Sorry to leave you hanging in Halloween month.
I know, this is our favorite month, but you know what, Scott? We're adults, and between me being out of town and I went to Salem, Massachusetts, actually, and I got to meet Miss Cassandra Peterson, the also known as Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, at a private Q&A session with me and like 50 other people. It was fucking dope. It gave me a lot of fun, a lot of joy. But anyway, it made, between that and a couple other things going on, it made scheduling pretty impossible last week. We do not like to miss Halloween month episodes. And because of that, I'm thinking, one, we're going to make all these fucking dope-ass episodes like we were going to anyway. But you know what? I'm thinking we might even bleed Halloween month just straight up to fucking Thanksgiving.
We did it last year?
I think so,
and
because...
I think the year before.
I think so.
And maybe even
Scott,
the year before.
This is special. This is special to make up for what we just did to these people.
We'll continue Halloween all the way until Thanksgiving at least. I think one year we did it all the way to Christmas.
We did, because then we said, like, fuck Christmas.
We did a Nordic monster.
Yeah, and I think what we should do is probably stick with that, because, there's only so many Krampus stories we can tell, but we found a bunch of other cool, like, folklore. There was some, like, witch thing. But anyway, there's a lot of good horror content. It doesn't mean every thing's going to be Spiderweb Droppings like we've been doing, but we're gonna make it worth your while. But we're explaining the show as if everybody out there has listened to us and even knows what we are.
Yeah,
but,
if you're a first-time listener, what we do is we take weird and, this month, spooky stories from the internet, the spookiest, and we explain them while also taking the time to twist them into new content. Feel free to use that new content to make anything you'd like to make out there in the world, but just give us a credit. That's all we ask for.
Because this is us just off the top of our heads, and some of these are going to be gems, and some are going to be real turds. Take what you want. If you like the turds, take them, sweep them up, and put them in your pocket like little Raisinets. Eat them. Eat those turds.
No one eats Raisinets. You might as well eat turds.
I never, even as a child, I never ate raisins. I'm pretty sure they exist only to be like, but I'm pretty sure every box of them in a movie theater is just empty. If you actually ordered one, their head would explode, because it'd be like, wait, no, there's not actually anything in there.
Those raisin, or not Raisinets. Raisinets. Yeah. I was thinking, what's the cranberry thing? Craisins. That's
craisins.
Those are good, though.
Craisins are like, they're going to go in like salads. I like to put Raisinets in salads now. I like a salad with Raisinets. I think it'd be craisins. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Raisinette salad, please.
I'd like your Raisinette kale salad.
Just undo all of the, like, oh my God, all of the, like, health ramifications there.
All right.
Anyway,
now, one thing we do during the Halloween month, it's not atypical for us, is we like to... Well, it is not typical for us. It is now atypical. Did I use those words wrong?
I probably think you know what? We've confused everybody to the point nobody knows.
I feel bad. What we're going to do is we're going to give suggestions for the Halloween month for things you should dive into that are spooky.
Yeah, horror-related things, and we're going to have a little fun with it. We often focus on TV and movies and stuff, but Scott, I'm actually going to come to the table with an entire YouTube channel that I became addicted to a while ago. I'm actually pretty far behind in catching up on them because I haven't watched them in a couple months, but I came across the channel Alter, Alter, on YouTube, and they're not like exclusive shorts that are made by the channel. They're not like content creators, which is actually something I like, because sometimes you're like, okay, I've seen it, and everybody follows in the same formula. These are just like really well-regarded horror shorts, and horror, as we know, works so great in short form. And of course, it's free. And they post, I think, twice a week, or at least once a week. And I, personally, my favorites on there so far, there's well over 100 short films on there now. But I prefer the Sermon, Real Gods Require Blood. First of all, dope fucking title. And The Herd. There's actually two The Herds on there. They're both fine, but Melanie Light's version of The Herd, and I think you said you'd seen that one as well. It's pretty fucked up. Yeah. It's first like vegan feminist torture porn.
Weird.
Yeah, it's fucking. It has Pollyanna McIntosh from The Woman and plenty of other amazing horror pieces in there as well. But I also wanted to say, because instead of just doing straight up horror TV shows and stuff, I've really been digging the author Michael McDowell, who unfortunately died in 1999. He was one of Stephen King's favorite authors. In fact, Stephen King's wife Tabitha helped finish one of the books that he had that was released posthumously. I've been listening to a lot of the audiobooks, which are actually really great productions on Audible. Not a sponsor, but
They used to be.
They used to be back when we could do the affiliate thing, and but unfortunately the affiliate thing fell through.
State of Vermont has some weird laws.
Yep, it's just
we don't even have our Amazon sponsorship.
Nope,
anymore
because of the affiliate link thing. It's like because instead of and granted it has a lot to do with Amazon just being like, well, fuck you, we're not paying taxes, so we're just not going to do that in your state.
So we swapped over to our Sahara sponsorship. That's
right.
like Amazon, but slower, less selection. Your packages get delivered directly to the Sahara.
Yep, exactly. And
you have to pick them up there. It's cheap as hell. The shipping's like 4 cents, but you have to drive to the Sahara.
To the Sahara. You have to drive. You can't take a plane. And the crazy thing about that is they don't have Sahara Prime. They have Sahara Grade D, but deliverable, and that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Michael McDowell, awesome stuff. I prefer. I think the Elementals is a good jumping in point. Also, people you probably won't recognize the name, but he's also well known for writing the screenplay for Beetlejuice. He's a Southern Gothic writer. So.
Very nice. I did not know that.
Yep. He's done. He also Tales from the Dark Side, like a piece or something like that. He did some TV and some movies, but Beetlejuice being probably his biggest one. He died unfortunately at the age of 49 of complications from AIDS.
Okay.
Back when people died from that.
So my suggestions, and I have 2 of them, are small bites because I haven't had a whole lot of time to sit down and watch movies. So I've been trying to digest TV shows, which you can pause at any point and pick up.
Yep, and you can even if you end up binging them, you got 45 minutes to an hour, tops.
Yeah, or you can just chunk out 20 minutes at a time if you have to. The Haunting on Hill House on Netflix came out last year, and I finally got around to it.
And they're releasing the follow-up to that, The Haunting of Blair Manor or something like that, whatever it's called.
Sure.
Still by the same people.
So I would recommend that. It's really good. Too many brunette women who look alike, but once you get into the story, you'll start being able to tell them apart. And my other suggestion sounds weak, but also on Netflix, Scream, which originally aired on MTV.
Yes.
There are 3 seasons on Netflix, and it is very similar to the movies, except they don't have the rights to the Scream mask, so they did a very close Ghostface facsimile, which honestly works well for the plot. It's fine. It's fine.
It's like the knockoff generic version,
if anything,
ghost head mask.
If anything, they made it scarier because I think the Scream mask now looks comical after watching Scary Movie, for instance.
And honestly, I feel like it's also just so ingrained in pop culture where it's almost so you can retire that and just still have the spirit of the mask and what it means. So I'm actually glad you mentioned that because I have had Scream on my list for a while now, but I have not actually gotten any official recommendations from anybody I know.
It is way more
trust, so
it's way more gory than you would think it would be. It's exactly the amount of teens shit you'd expect from MTV.
Yes, but that's fine with horror, especially. That's
but it's
fucking
well acted
fine.
and well written.
Yeah, and with horror, like teen shit is fine with horror, man. I like some of the favorite ones are still granted more like the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, Dimension Films things, but the I Know What You Did Last Summers and stuff.
Yep. My only down point to it would be every time a character kisses or beds someone, it kicks in with loud, what sounds like practically 1990s teen music.
Oh, kiss me.
Yeah,
out on the bearded barley.
I was actually thinking that exactly on the bearded barley.
I realized I did not know the name, any of the words of that song other than "kiss."
But no, it's anytime 2 characters I think there's a killer out here. It's okay, we're together. And they kiss off. So it's kiss me about the bearded barley.
Mom's so high, your kiss might kill me. And I like barley, the bearded barley.
The teen music injection during lovey scenes is a little heavy-handed and a little distracting.
It's teeny, right? It's what you got to expect. Well, it's cute and nostalgic when you go back and watch the old She's All That's and stuff, but maybe nowadays I just wouldn't quite,
To be fair, I've only seen 1 episode of it, but if you want to watch a truly superior teen slasher series, American Horror Story 1984, I've seen 1 episode.
You said you really liked it?
I really liked it, and it is shot, acted, and written like an 80s slasher teen thing.
Yeah.
The dialogue is purposely bad.
Which I wasn't sure about.
Everything is purposefully done to feel like that era.
Which I wasn't sure about at first when I heard about that, just because the 80s nostalgia thing is getting a little played out, but then you mentioned it is done well enough in such a way,
too.
And it's also we are trying, as opposed to the movie that both of you and I hated, which was Summer of '84. Oddly enough,
which tried really hard to be Stranger Things and failed.
Yeah, because it was just hey, let's take Stranger Things, but take out all the charm, good writing. To take that right out. Also, any kind of
let's
fun
make
plot.
A villain who looks like your mailman who huffs on his walk up to your front step.
Yeah. How did he stop halfway through? There's 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot off the step. Hold on.
Yeah, that man kills people. In this movie, he does.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Actually, I guess a lot of killer. Gacy wasn't exactly a fucking triathlete.
Instead of like, it's like, and then a whole bunch of awkward scenes where I want to date your mom, but I need to work off this gut first. There's no workouts in the 80s except jazzercise and thigh master.
Yeah.
Those aren't for men, so I guess I'll keep the
and then
gut.
Richard Simmons, but I ain't no homo. It's okay to say that because it's 1984 and Eddie Murphy's Raw is just been either released or is about to be
and
released.
I just spoiled 1984 bad. The villain is the fucking
Summer of 84,
loser dude with the gut.
First of all, it's the one you assume it is 5 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, but he's not menacing. He's a bad actor, and at no point do you feel like he could kill his way out of a wet paper bag.
I would say along this in the same vein, but it didn't try too hard to be any kind of like retro or nostalgic, but a good
He didn't
version.
try at anything.
No, but a good version of that movie is Super Dark Times, which is like way up top. As far as like quality of movies go, and then the complete opposite fail of that is one of the things I think I mentioned about that I hated about Summer of '84 is they try to like capture all the things. They're like, oh, we want to say like a throwback homage to the '80s, but they also take all the bad stuff that like shouldn't have been. Like it was fine in the '80s because you're like, oh, there's gonna be no strong female characters. There's gonna be like no like the humor's going to try too hard to be crude. It's charming coming from the 80s when you watch it nostalgically, but then to copy that over today, like Stranger Things does a great job of subverting those.
And there is an older girl character that the younger boy is really into, and they keep doing this will they, won't they?
Well, but all it is like, but she's one of those classic jerk-off material things, which again, in the 80s is fine, but like she was a cool character. They could have actually made her something. Instead, she's like, maybe I'll kiss you. Oh, no.
Or literally, they could have made her a jerk-off character.
Yeah.
They didn't do either.
No, because it was
like pick one. Pick a lane.
She was there for like to be the object of the boys' affection, but like also didn't do it well enough because they were like tiptoeing anyway. So we're also making horror movie unrecommendations.
Yeah.
Summer of '84, steer clear. Crazy because it still has like people still rave about that movie. I just do not get it. You, my buddy Andrew, that likes the same kind of horror movies, and I like had the same exact feeling.
No,
like,
I warned you after I watched it. I'm
did, yep. And I still was like, well, I'm gonna make up my own mind. I'm gonna go in with. Luckily, I went in with reduced expectations, and even those were fucking dashed. I was like, well, okay. Yeah. Reduce expectations. I totally trusted what you said. They all made sense, but I was like, well, maybe if I go in and just look for the enjoyment. It's not even enjoyable. It's one thing if it's a movie that's bad and it's fun. This was just bad. So anyway, speaking of horror movies that we were just speaking about, Scott, you've also been doing some new segment this time around in Halloween month.
Yeah,
where you've been trying to pitch.
On our last episode, I brought us 4 new pilot ideas because this show is about generating new content. So this made a lot of sense to do during Halloween month. Last month, I themed it very heavily around werewolves. We did Wenwolf.
Yes.
We did Bleeding Hearts.
I would like to mention with Wenwolf, one of our dedicated listeners, Jason Northrup. I didn't even dawn on me that this could be done because it's the same actor in both movies. But he mentioned that he'd be willing to send us some like rips of Back to the Future and Teen Wolf to mash up into it because those are both Michael J. Fox. Essentially, you mash those up as a fake trailer.
You could mash up that trailer.
You could mash up that trailer.
Wenwolf.
We'd have Wenwolf. So I'm actually thinking of taking Jason up on that because I think that would be a fun little project and just to like dash that together because both same actors, same time period, all that kind of stuff. Anyway.
All right, so let's get on to this. I have 4 new trailers.
Okay.
Remember we started last time with Bleeding Hearts. This time we're doing the Bleeding Hearts reboot.
Oh, already a reboot. I like the one where the reboot comes out before the original.
Yes.
Is that a pre-boot? Have we declared
possibly,
a new?
Possibly.
Okay. Does that term exist yet? Because we just coined it. If not,
it's a
pre-boot instead of a prequel.
It's a shoe for a preemie.
The tiniest little shoe that may or may not be actually have to be used because the baby might die.
Yep. All right. Bleeding Hearts reboot. 3 sisters who live together and work at the same kennel have menstruation cycles that have synced. Same as before.
Okay. Yep.
But this
time, a reboot, baby.
The vampire apocalypse happens, and it's a sitcom.
Okay. So that's quite the reboot.
That's it. That's all I did.
I would like to mention once again, I think I've recommended this movie every time you mention it. It's not unlike some
Ginger
aspects
Snaps.
of Ginger Snaps, which again, people are going to look
Still
at that
need
and
to watch.
go,
Still
are
need
going to
to
go,
watch
oh,
it.
that's just like some teeny bopper movie. It's fucking not, and they're always on some Tubi or something like that for streaming for free or some like streaming service.
Now I promise these get better as I go.
Well, I mean, yeah, the pre-boot, you know,
No,
but
they-
you know what? Reboots and pre-boots.
No, I mean
fall
my
flat.
my pilots here. They
Yeah,
get
yeah,
better
no,
as I go.
No, that's what I mean. But like you started
right.
with a pre-boot. You know, you start a little weak sauce, but like that's the way reboots are. So.
Next one, much stronger.
Okay. Is that the name of okay.
Vampire ER.
Okay. I'm going to guess you've already related the entire plot to me by just saying those two words.
Think ER.
With vampires.
But in a world where vampires exist.
Wait, so are the okay? Maybe I should let you go. Yes.
But they're not a huge threat. They're about as annoying and threatening as a crackhead.
Okay.
Think about that. All vampires are basically the
you can just-
crackheads of the world.
So you can just like move off to the other side of the street and ignore them.
Yep. This is a romantic hour-long situational drama taking place in a hospital ER where the presence of shitty begging vampires that cause all kinds of issues for the staff are being admitted, stealing blood, and possibly falling in love.
Okay. So are these so the vampires
So it's
are
an-
working on people as well?
I think this is a very specific ER.
Or is it ER for vampires?
Yeah, you don't want the vampires with the other patients. Say someone's
Okay.
bleeding out from a stab wound and you have a vampire in the same ER.
Yeah.
You're going to have problems.
That's problems,
But maybe,
yeah.
maybe that's an episode. Maybe
Like-
the ER gets full and they have to overlap and that causes
Yep.
problems.
Yep.
All right.
Like a vampire gets a job at a regular ER, but like doesn't tell them that they're a vampire. And
Sure.
then they're just drooling over these stab victims.
I'm also thinking like a hot nurse falls in love with one of the patients, you know.
well, of course, you gotta have sex in a vampire movie.
All right,
or
next
show.
one. Next one. This is animated.
like that.
Saturday morning animated.
Okay.
Little Vamps.
Aw. Lil with an apostrophe?
Sure.
That better be. That's my 2 cents.
Think Muppet Babies, but with baby versions of famous vampires. You have Vlad, Blade, the Count, like from Sesame Street. That's
okay.
the actual Muppet that becomes.
Okay, yeah.
That's
okay.
the one.
The one actual baby. There's Orlok from Nosferatu, of course.
Well, Angel, Lestat, and Spike from Buffy.
Well, you gotta have Orlok from Nosferatu. He's like the OG, man.
Sure.
Yeah. And he's like the nerdy one because he's got the buck teeth and he's like, "Hey, don't get anybody." Because that guy looks like a fucking
But
nerd.
these are them all as babies in
Yeah.
a nursery and dealing with life.
I like that. And so they've got to like come to terms with the fact that they're little baby vampires.
And I
for
like
some
that
reason still-
that like Blade could go out in the sun, but the rest can't. You know.
Oh, that's right, because he's
He can
he's
play
a
in the
happy.
he can play in the sandbox.
Yeah, and all the other kids are just looking like sort of out the window, but maybe through like
Yeah.
like eclipse like glasses.
They're all using eclipse
Yeah,
glasses,
or
yeah.
like tinted windows. They can see out, and like Blade's just having a fucking blast. Butterflies on a sword. Shit
All
like
right.
that.
My last one, Golden Ghouls.
Okay, winner already.
4 ancient vampires.
Thank you for being a friend.
4 ancient women vampires deal with retirement life in Florida, dealing with such issues as, are you ready?
Yes.
The rising price of medical plasma and how their healthcare won't pay for it. The Florida sun. Eating Florida
Oh,
man
yeah.
and tripping balls from the drugged up blood. The Florida sun. The aches and pains of being 1,000 years old, elderly. The Florida sun.
Yep.
Talking about how things were back in the day. And of course, the Florida, sun.
It is funny, and I like right off the bat to have it ironic that the vampires are living in the Sunshine State.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. So okay, so I'm gonna give you my verdict. I am green lighting until I see how good the first Bleeding Hearts does. I'm gonna go ahead and just put that one on the back burner. I'm gonna green light the animated show and Golden Ghouls.
I like that.
So that's our 50% green light rate right now.
I think Little Vamps wouldn't do well in a mass market. I think Golden Ghouls and Vampire ER would with a new
Vampire
title.
ER, I think
With a new
ER
title.
would, but I kind of like diversifying our show portfolio, and we haven't come across an animated children's version of any of this yet. So I think I'm going to go ahead and with the diversification, and I'm greenlighting those two.
Is that my binky?
And then just all the binkies have holes in them.
1 binky. 2 binky.
Okay,
Yes,
and-
Count,
yeah.
we get you have 2 binkies. One
the
of them's
Count-
mine.
But the Count's like so young, he can only count to 2. So like he's the
Hey,
most
yo,
boring
you better
Count.
give me back my blinky, yo. That's
Blinky.
that's my Blade impression, asking
Oh.
for a binky back from the Count.
Okay, cool. I like that. One of his binkies.
Yo, I'm a day walker. I'm gonna take that binky. I'm gonna walk in the day with it. You
right.
won't be able to get
What are you gonna do?
because I'm gonna be outside.
Just him like outside the window, just sucking on
just
the binky,
staring in
you know,
with
like, what
red
you gonna
eyes.
do? And then the fucking Count's just getting all pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And then Lestat is just in the corner, just jerking off to everyone.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
what
an
he
Anne
does.
Rice character.
Yeah, that's
he's
all
He's just jerking
Like,
it.
I'm handsome and getting sucked off. I'm a child vampire.
What are you doing in that corner?
Yes. Three ropes of cubs.
Yes, I was gonna say 3 jerk offs. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
when every pump is four jerk off.
Yo, you better not keep jerking off like that in the dark. I'm gonna go out in the light and do it. You
I
want
like
to see?
a very one-dimensional Blade character. It's just him just talking
just
about
always-
how he can go out in the light.
Yeah. But only he is a daywalker. His sperm isn't. So when he jerks off, his ropes of jism like sizzle and catch fire in the air.
Oh my god, he's got like a napalm cum.
They just set the playground on fire again. Oh, there goes the jungle gym.
Yep.
Lestat's the jerking off one. Who else did we say?
Well, there's Orlok from Nosferatu, right? And there's
him.
There's Dracula.
Oh, Dracula, yeah.
Dracula's but Dracula's a fucking pimp now. That guy's like the leader of all of it. So he's just
No,
killing.
that's Eddie Murphy. That's Manhattan Dracula.
Oh, is that like the Brooklyn vampire one? Vampire in Brooklyn?
Vampire in Brooklyn, yes, that's him.
Yeah.
That's that Dracula.
Okay,
because I'm
cool.
saying that Eddie Murphy's that Dracula.
Oh, so there's not more than one Dracula. Just the Dracula is played by Eddie Murphy.
Stake in your heart. It's like banana in a tailpipe, except I can't do it Eddie Murphy, and that made no sense.
Okay, I like it. Like your clarification, fucking made it way more confusing. It's like banana in a tailpipe.
He did the thing where he's like, banana in a tailpipe. He had that laugh. He had that laugh.
Yeah, he had the laugh. I got the laugh. I got that far into your Murphy.
Stake in your heart.
Yep.
Once again, dead on Eddie
but
Murphy.
He's a child. He doesn't have the best jokes, so that's fine.
Yeah, and the voices don't need to match. Their balls haven't dropped in 1,000 years, or in 1,000.
Yeah, it is funny that at some point they do grow up, which is against normal lore, vampire lore. Like they're supposed to just be the age they got turned, but like it doesn't matter because it's a fucking cartoon, Little Vamps.
I want that on Adult Swim. 10 minutes. It'd be like Squidbillies.
Yep.
You just have them all do their little things.
Crudely animated.
Yeah, crudely
Boom.
animated. Yeah.
Like none of this fancy Rick and Morty.
No,
shit.
that should be an Adult Swim show.
Yeah,
All
I said
right,
Ricky
I'm
Morty.
good.
Shit,
I'm
but
good.
that's- yeah.
We can move on.
All right. We're going to get into the show proper if you're ready to do that.
Spiderweb Droppings?
Yes, sir. All right, so we've got a lineup of some creepy stories here, and we'll hopefully get through. But some are relatively short, but these are ones we're going to try to maybe twist some new content out of. And actually, speaking of our good listener friend Jason Northrup, this first story comes out of Iowa, which is where Jason is from. Jason is from 72 North Street, Iowa. Ames, Iowa.
That works for me.
Those are all made up numbers.
I was gonna say I don't
I
know
apologize
if you're
for anybody
being
who,
honest.
Nope, I wouldn't actually give somebody's actual address out.
You'd give Jason's.
I don't think I would. I think I'd be nice to my friend. Maybe like
How about this? Throughout this show, from this point forward, we're gonna drop hidden clues as to where he lives
That's
in
right.
the story.
Yes,
sometimes
near
it
a
might be.
cornfield.
Sometimes it might be a number. Sometimes it might be the name of a town. If you can put all the clues together, knock on his door.
Yeah, exactly. Or just walk.
He
just
loves
knock on-
strangers. His basement's full of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's your fucking funeral, bud. Go ahead, knock on these doors. Speaking of doors, yeah, it's a terrible segue. A lot of things have doors. The Bagley family's basement was recently flooded. Maybe
they should have gotten a door.
like a basement door.
Yeah.
Well,
I was trying to help your segue.
because
Of doors.
Yeah, I had already
You
apologized.
remember that thing a minute ago where you talked about doors and then you didn't connect it to what we said?
No, I said speaking of knocking on doors, here's a basement. I see what you did, but I had already apologized for the terrible segue.
I was helping with your segue.
Yeah, but I already apologized for it and mentioned it didn't work. I do appreciate you trying to thread it together and putting a door in a
I
basement.
threaded it together. You don't need to apologize. I worked magic there.
You did. You worked some Bagley, Iowa magic, which maybe that's where Jason Northrup lives. Bagley, Iowa. Check it out. 147 Bagley, Iowa. I like that there's no There's no street number, street name.
No. We gotta make sure we pepper in these things like kind of secretly.
Okay.
So let's get on with story number 147.
Bagley, Iowa.
Under the radar.
Yeah,
We're cool.
Yeah.
We're cool.
Well, yeah, we skim that one right in. Yeah, talk about Easter eggs. So anyway, so what ended up happening is this family, the Listina family, lives in next to.
I believe it's pronounced Listerine.
Okay, the Listerine family of.
Let's protect their identity too from this publicly nationalized
Yeah,
story.
exactly. From WHOTV.com. Wait, who TV? Cool. Just got that.
We're having way too much fun just on our own here.
Yeah.
We're not even trying to entertain anyone.
Yeah, no, it's good. We don't need to do that.
I think we stopped entertaining people about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, we're just making like shadow puppets, stuff that can't even like port over to fucking podcasting. Well, anyway, the Listina family lives next to Dahl's Custom Meat Locker. They have been for 10 years, but recently the ownership of the market, or the plant, I should say, has changed within the past year. They walked down to their basement to find it flooded with 5 inches of animal blood, pieces of bone, fur, all of this kind of stuff. Now, that would suck. Moving on. Next story.
Well, they did contact the local meat distribution plant that had been...
It's right next door, yeah.
Literally next door, and told them about this, and the plant pretty much blew them off, being like...
not our problem. Really? Because I'm pretty sure
they literally
that's not
said,
my blood.
not our problem.
Yeah, because apparently, what they're saying is it actually has more to do with the drainage, and it turned out that there's like... Because,
they share pipes.
Yeah, because there's like it's disgusting, but it's the way it goes. Like there's just like a grate on these floors, and just everything like blood.
Every
and fur
basement has a grate that goes into the sewer.
And what ends up happening is in the meat locker, it's like an entire floor where all the drainage goes. So like when they bleed something out, it's just going like down into this drainage area. And apparently when they drained it, it kind of bubbled up. It turned out that it was probably attached to the same kind of drainage system, which makes sense. That's the way all the pipes are connected and whatnot in these towns. And just kind of bubbled up through that little, I'm guessing that's probably how it happened, is bubbled up back through. I don't know if you ever had a flooded basement or whatever, where suddenly, or like a backup, where suddenly stuff will be coming out of those little drainage vents.
Yep.
So that's, they walked into, actually that would have been creepier to walk down there and just start seeing like blood bubble up through there. Be like, what the fuck is going on here? I wouldn't necessarily go like, oh, there's a ghost, but I don't also know if like, oh, the meat plant must just be draining. They've been living next to this thing for 10 years, no incident. And yes, it
came under new ownership 1 year before the incident.
Exactly, and it seems like so what ended up happening is the family got in touch with the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, which is now handling an investigation. And they have been in touch with Meat Locker, and it sounds like now Meat Locker might actually be cooperating with them because, big surprise, you get an actual investigation going, and suddenly corporations and businesses change their tune, being like, maybe we will do something about that. Maybe it's not their problem that their basement is flooded with. The one thing it's definitely not the homeowner's problem that their basement is flooded with, with blood. And maybe the Meat Locker, they're like, well, listen, we were just draining, and it was not our system. That's technically like goes down, and whether it attaches to some kind of city system or whatever. But regardless, it shouldn't just be up like, well, get a mop, like a sump pump pumping fucking blood out into the yard. Like, what are you gonna do?
Who did you say did this? The Iowa Department of
Natural Resources.
So I think what we need for a show here is this is like true TV
DNR
level. True TV level. The Iowa Department of Unnatural Resources.
Oh yeah,
and they specifically come out on calls like this,
maybe paranormal issues sometimes,
well,
or maybe just things that are weird shit,
paranormal adjacent, Like,
I've got blood in my basement.
Like, Mr. and Mrs. Miller, why'd you call us to your house? Bats. Well, you should call animal control. No, we have all the bats.
All the bats. Every bat.
Every species.
Every bat.
All of them.
All of them.
And, literally, if you look at the house, it's just, fluctuating waves of black.
And it's, getting carried away, like the house and Up, by all these bats. They're just like, we're going to take you to our guano cave.
Farm tractor, barn, it all just starts lifting.
Lifting up, and, we're getting carried away by bats right now.
It's natural. That's just bats.
Yeah.
But it's also unnatural because it's the bats.
That shouldn't be happening.
Blood in your basement.
Yeah.
Unnatural, but also if you're next to a meatpacking plant, natural.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it meets both requirements.
Yeah,
so
it meets.
Oh, I did not mean to do that.
We're only 29 minutes in, and we are on fire,
But I
ladies
think
and gentlemen.
the Iowa Department of Unnatural Resources.
I like it. I like that concept.
And then you can spoof that out. Like it's like the middle-aged sluts of Tampa, whatever that show is. You know what I mean?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
You just do that for different cities.
I just literally, like, the next show like that is going to be called Old Whores.
Old Horse of Brunswick. What we're doing in Brunswick? Well, our husbands left us here and they don't pay child support.
Yep.
Where are the kids? I don't know.
Oh,
Where are the child support checks? Here.
yeah.
I kept checking those checks,
Yeah,
but
they're
not
just
the
like
kids.
they're just like going straight into like casino, like a fucking I almost said gumball machine, which actually would be funnier.
like the pushy gumball machine that pops that
originally I
little
was thinking
kids use.
slot machine, but then I accidentally said gumball machine. I think that's a funnier addiction for someone to have. Like, oh, give me those sweet gumballs.
Oh, these women who can't find their kids to push the strollers with just the daddy's money's checks in the stroller belted in. And then as soon as it gets cash, they throw the stroller and go to the casino.
Yep, exactly. And then they get those sweet gumballs.
Y'all know about the strip in New Brunswick.
Oh, yes. I didn't even know.
Ah,
Where
those
to start?
casinos, they're towers, pinnacles of human civilization and creation. They reach towards the sky as golden spears piercing the clouds like golden knives.
Ah, yes.
New Brunswick.
Old Canadian whores with checks in strollers. I'm not as good at
You
naming
sound like
things.
the owner of the casino just rubbing his hand
Yeah.
going, here
Oh,
they
yeah.
come.
Yeah, like
you
looking-
can hear the squeaky wheels of the the less than perfectly oiled
Yeah.
strollers.
Ah, it's the first of the month. You know what that means?
They
All
leave-
our daddy's checks are coming in.
You can hear
Yes.
the stroller's wheels squeak because they leave them in the rain. No child will ever be of that. They can't find them. Those checks, though, nailed to the refrigerator. Not magnets.
Nope.
Nailed.
Yeah, they just take them straight up. You don't even need to like cash them. They
Actually,
just,
that's
like,
what I
flat
do
out
at home. Whenever I get like my schedule for work, I nail it to the refrigerator.
Honey, gonna need a new refrigerator. This one's been nailed too many times. You know, magnets. Magnets? How the fuck do those work? Call back to ICP.
Yeah, all ICP episodes.
Yep.
Longtime listeners know we're
Yep,
ICP.
Of course. Yeah, we're friendly.
We're friendly to the culture.
So, yeah, absolutely. We covered it ages ago. We have our Juggalo week at least once a year, and
We didn't do it this year because there wasn't enough content.
No, there really wasn't. But I think at some point we'll just
We'll save up 2 years worth of content.
I think that's really what it is. Here, really, we
or
covered,
we go
covered,
to a Juggalo fest and we interview every
Yeah, I
Juggalo
think what
we
ended up
find, and we
happening,
never record a show for a year because we'll have enough
I don't think we
content.
had a full Juggalo week, but we definitely covered some Juggalo stories as things came out last year, or this past year. So, anyway, that's that. I think you've got the next story. I just want to see.
I do, real quick.
Casino New Brunswick
Real
is
quick.
located in the Magnetic Hill area of Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada.
Fucking kidding me? They have a
Casino New Brunswick.
I nailed that out of pulling names out of my ass.
Casino New. It's literally just called Casino New Brunswick.
Do they have golden spires that pierce the clouds and are built on the bones of children?
It looks like it might just be a lighthouse based on the logo. Anyway, so it's a lighthouse that's been reclaimed and made into a casino. You gotta like climb like 7 flights of
cool.
If that
like
was
if
the
you do a
case,
penny slot and the lighthouse light starts spinning and like making
and then,
noise.
Yeah, but the funny thing is like it's not doing that unless you get that. So there's just all these pile-ups of like ships like smashing into the shore because the light's not going. Like, oh, it must be fine.
I also have no idea how big New Brunswick is, so I can only imagine this tiny hamlet next to it, and every time an old lady hits a penny slot, they're like woken up by bright lights and like, ooga, ooga, like, God fucking damn it.
I won another one. Yay, cool.
Oh, before we go into the next story, do you mind if I try out a quick impression due to Halloween month?
That's actually a pretty sizable casino.
Halloween month, I mean, time for spooky impressions. You ready?
Yep.
Oh, wait. Before I do the impression, Jared wants to show me his laptop.
Yep, that's Casino New Brunswick right there.
That's pretty cool. I can't
Not
believe
Golden Spires, but you know.
I can't believe I pulled that out of my ass.
Yeah, well, you sure did. Scott pulled a casino as if that was going to pull a impression out of your ass.
For Halloween month. Ready?
Okay, I got it.
Spooky impression.
Spooky impression.
Give me like 2 seconds. Ow. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Are you ready?
Okay. Yep.
Oh, here. How about this?
That's
I won't
not
tell-
okay.
I
That
won't
sounds
tell
like
you.
you.
I won't tell you the impression is. You guess.
Okay.
I god, I love Halloween because I killed my little girl and now I'm gonna put a
Casey
baby
Anthony.
in my belly.
Casey Anthony.
You're right. I'm gonna dress my.
I mean, you just explained her entire backstory, which helps.
Can I finish with my second part of that? Oh my god, when this new baby comes out of me, I'm gonna totally dress her up like my dead other baby.
Oh my god, yeah, we'll call her like Other One 2, because I can't remember the name of the little baby that she clearly killed.
Lacey Dethany. That's my name. I'm gonna dress my new baby up like my dead baby for Halloween.
That's right.
She's just gonna be like this thing.
I mean, my missing baby.
I'm probably gonna leave her to bus stop, but she's gonna be so fucking cute.
'Cause
Everyone's gonna love her.
I actually just recently listened to the Casey Anthony episode. I've been going back through all the last podcasts and left shout out to them because even though they don't know who we are or anything like that, but they are one that is like a legit other podcast that we'll actually mention on our own show other than Friends.
I just listened to Casey Anthony's audiobook about her love of Arbor Day.
Oh, yes, okay.
I just love those trees. Like, if you bury a baby under a tree, it just becomes food for that fucking tree.
That is nice. Care about the environment. Climate change is real.
That was an excerpt from Casey Anthony's Arbor Day, better than my daughter's birthday.
Arbor Day. Also, my baby died and it wasn't me. Okay, a little on the nose title there. Okay, you
Casey Anthony, you rapscallion.
Anyway, so we've got a couple pieces of new content from that last story, or this is already the story content for this one.
I'm just gonna call it that for this one because this story is interesting, and I would just like to kind of.
And actually, speaking of last podcast, I sometimes fucking side stories my last podcast.
They don't push us. Don't push them.
No, but they don't know who we are. They're like
if they did, they'd like us.
They would probably. And actually, here's the thing: is I actually want to see them live at some point because apparently afterwards you can just hang out with them at the bar and like get drinks with Zabrowski.
I like seeing things live. Sometimes they're just like annoying. They're like food, and I need water.
Yeah,
and a bedtime story. You know what I like? I just dead baby.
Yeah, but
dead baby doesn't say water. It says. Wow, that's a bad stand-up act when you just leave dead air.
But also, I didn't do it, so get off my back. Casey Anthony's I Didn't Do It, the stand-up special. Arbor Day's so good, but I didn't murder my baby. I want to hear some dead baby jokes.
She just says that all the time. How many dead babies can you like fit in a mailbox? I don't know. Really. I got to one.
And that was too big.
And I didn't kill my baby.
Yeah. And it turns out the mailman won't even pick up a dead baby if you try to mail it unless it's wrapped properly. UPS won't even take it. What's wrong? I didn't kill him.
Priority mail. What the fuck's priority mail?
I had a female. Do you have priority female? You're stupid. Anyway,
you killed your baby.
I'm looking for the real kill. I think it was OJ. Yeah. No, and it was her that killed Nicole, even though she was like 6 when that happened.
Yeah, Casey Anthony's baby killed Nicole, so OJ had to get revenge by killing Casey
that's my
Anthony's
story now.
baby.
It's a revenge killing. I killed the baby that was -12 when my wife was killed.
Casey Anthony's stem cells psychically killed.
That's right. Time travel Arbor Day, baby. Is it still tracking?
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we got her a tight 10 at least.
we got. Yeah, she's good. She's good for Letterman.
She couldn't raise one. Wait, we got her a tight 10 because she couldn't raise one.
Oh, didn't make it to 10. Maybe not before 10.
Also, I don't think calling a 10-year-old a tight 10 is.
Oh yeah, no. That's more of a. What am I thinking of? Jared Fogle. That's more of a Jared Fogle, tight 10, because
more of a tight 12-inch foot long.
And 12-year-old, because he's creep. Hey, Jared Fogle, remember him? Probably not.
Next story: family waiting for the end of time found in a Dutch farmhouse. Now, this story reads best if I actually read it off of the actual news story because it's got a lot of information.
Yeah, it's got like some detail. It's still a relatively short.
It's short, so I'm going to roll through if you don't mind.
I almost messed up, and I had my volume up just for a second. I saw the thing loading, and I was like, "Fuck no!" So I'm good now. So all the stuff you just didn't hear, everybody, was me being pretty sharp.
Surprised you didn't do the Casey Anthony voice. That sounded like your testimony in court.
Yeah. Wow. I think like I was out of town, or maybe I wasn't, but it might have been like a babysitter that does or may not exist that took my baby. But 30 days later, I'm going to go ahead and say it was. Bye. You can't just leave court now. Yeah. Bye. Waves and leave. Like the bailiff's like, what are you doing? I gotta get. Can I get past? No. Casey Anthony joke. She's back in the news. So
because she's trying to get pregnant again.
Yeah. I think she just wants her 15 minutes back.
Yeah. All right. Local authorities say a 50-year-old man and 6 young adults ranging in age from 18 to 25 were discovered in a hidden room inside a Dutch farmhouse after one of the siblings escaped and ran to a local pub.
Yes, which I also like. We'll get to more of it, but I ran to the local pub for help, but also drank 5... Okay.
The 25-year-old man was dressed in ragged clothes, was unkempt, and when he entered the bar in Ruin World is the best thing ever.
That's a fucking dope name.
It sounds like a I don't know, video game world.
Yeah, like a old.
I'm saying it wrong. It's Ruiner World.
But Ruin World sounds fucking dope.
Ruin World. I mean, if you say it quick enough.
Ruin World.
And when he sat down, this is what you alluded to a moment ago. He reportedly drank 5 beers in a row.
Hey, you've been trapped in a fucking Dutch farmhouse forever. The first thing you're going to be like, I'm surprised he even remembered to finally report the thing. He's like, oh shit, can I get 5 beers? Like right up, he just orders 5 in a row.
Before telling the owner that he needed help. After describing the conditions that he and his siblings were living in the remote farmhouse, the owner made the decision to call the police. Upon arrival at the location, police officers discovered a hidden staircase behind a cupboard that led down to a secret room.
Like a little bunker kind of thing, probably, right?
And it appeared that the family, in quotes, had been living in the cramped space together waiting for the end of times. Reports were unclear to whether the man was actually the father of the siblings. The police said that he was, but the local mayor, of all people who chimed in on this one...
Oh, yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, no.
No kids.
He ain't fucked a day in his life.
He's barren.
Yeah, that's right. He shoots...
Born with no testicles on the outside.
Ropes of fiery dust pops out his nutsack.
Check his armpits. More testicles than you've ever seen. Down there, none.
None, not a single one. He's got armpit testiculosa, and that's where you get all your testicles on your arm. But boy, tickle his underarms, you'll get a face full of cum.
Sounded like the worst knockoff of Ponderosa.
Testiculosa?
Yeah.
Come on down to Testiculosa. Well, we got, testicles.
Balls and more
Balls.
Meatballs.
That's it.
Actually, literally, they're all meatballs.
Yeah.
Only one type you will identify as traditional meatballs.
That's right.
We don't label our food.
That's right. You have no idea what you're getting. Are you going to eat balls or meatballs? Who knows? Come on down to Testiculosa. We don't know why we made this place or why anybody gave us a fucking loan.
Testicular
And come on Tuesdays, we've got Casey Anthony Tuesdays, where she flexes her tight 10. Not 10-year-old. Baby didn't make it that long.
No, she does the Taiwan thing where you lay on your back and you shoot ping pong balls out of your cooch into people's faces.
Oh yeah.
But she does it with various balls.
Yeah,
meatballs,
like meatballs,
testicles. Yeah.
I have an infection in my pussy because I popped a meatball out. Oh, that's a baby. Give it to me. I'm gonna eat it. I didn't do it.
So to end the story, because I want to.
Sure. No extra need, no extra explanation.
Neighbors and local authorities tweeted about the events as they were happening. One neighbor told the police that they had only ever seen one man on the property, and the local postman said he'd never delivered a single letter to the address. The 58-year-old man was arrested after he failed to cooperate with authorities. This is a mystery that is still unraveling, and as more news comes forward on this, we will report it here on the Lost Film
Podcast. Well, we like to do updates at the top of the show a lot of times, and so we'll let y'all know as we find out more information as more things come to light. This is relatively fresh.
Right, so everyone have a great week. Get lost.
Yep. And
wait, we're only 44 minutes.
Got 44. Well, we're getting close, but so we already got the Casey Anthony story out of that somehow. So we're good there. I actually really want to cover this next story because this became my favorite story after I finally dug into it. I almost skipped by it because I was like, sounds like not horror-y enough. It sounds a little too...
Which story are you
This is the
alluding to?
Blob, the Blob story.
I have not read this story.
This is so cool. Okay, so there is a Parisian zoological park.
I believe
Paris.
I believe they prefer to be called Iranian.
Okay.
It's not that it's.
I know where you're going here with the Persian, but I'm gonna just move aside and mention that they're from Paris.
Do you think Jake Gyllenhaal as
France.
the Prince of Persia would have been different if it was the Prince of Iran?
Yeah.
I mean, he's uber white.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been the Prince of Persia to begin with.
No, he definitely shouldn't have been. I used to play that game though. Prince of Persia.
I used to play with a Persian
You
cat.
play Persian cat?
Yeah,
What color are Persian cats?
whatever they want to be.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I guess it's 2019. We can't impose anything on it. Anyway, so this Paris zoo has showcased a slime mold, which has been dubbed the blob, a yellowish, unicellular, small living being, which looks like a fungus but acts like an animal. The thing about this shit that's fucking dope, first of all, it has 720 sexes. Have no idea how they identify those whatsoever, but there's 720 sexes.
Male, female,
Others,
other
one, other two.
other. So it's like dick, pussy, hammer, bent nail with feather,
These are just like old, like
half a cat,
they're like old like Zelda items that you'd find in the old like Zelda
broken
games.
glass pile.
Ah, yes.
All those are gender organs.
Yep. Oh, inventory's
Oh,
full.
don't let it rub the half a cat into the broken glass pile, or else it'll make a baby.
I'm trying to craft. It's a video game now.
Oh my god, the thing is just a big sexual crafting table where there's no rules.
Yeah, you're just like half a cat.
Like in
fucking broken
a
glass.
game, it would be like, you can't put that battery with that piece of metal to make that gun. And this one's like,
Fuck it.
fucking make it.
Yeah, fuck it. It's a cat gun now.
Yeah.
It's a half cat gun.
Now you have Jello hay.
Yeah. Jello. Like it's literally everything's craftable. That would actually make a fucking really cool game where it's just almost procedural
To make it weird.
To where like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you try to craft, it'll make a new item out of
Yeah.
it. Like procedural games.
Paper
Yeah.
skeleton.
Dude, I want that game now. The ultimate crafting game where like it just procedurally generates new items based on those things. But then they go into the cloud so that
Yeah.
then other people can download those items. So if you're the first one to discover like a crafting recipe,
Yeah.
it would actually like then go up to the cloud and other people could discover that. You can name it yourself and all this kind of stuff. Like, oh my god, I've been playing too much No Man's Sky.
Asphalt, apple, granite, dick.
Is that all one thing?
Yes, that's what.
that's one of those- that's one of those
Crafting
complex
tables.
ones.
You can. No, that's the thing. Infinite.
Yes. So you can just literally take everything in your inventory, dump it all down, and it'll just figure something out.
Meerkat dildo.
Dude, I really want... Okay, we've already got our content for this before I finish the story, because I really want this game. I would
Infinite
fucking
crafting.
It's
Infinite-
literally like there's no point of the crafting.
No,
Like, you can't use anything.
none.
You can't use anything. It's literally just... so you go out and collect
the world
shit.
is full of shit.
It's just like full of shit. Like random shit. You're like, oh, there's like leaves on the ground. Go grab this bundle of leaves. It also infinite inventory. Like there's no
Hobo
fucking...
made of leaves. I found a hobo, found some leaves.
Yeah.
Hobo made of
It's
leaves.
just like
and then
putting-
you just let them loose. And
just
that's
jamming this hobo in. Like
oh,
this,
it's like No Man's Sky though. That's your planet.
Yep.
So then people can fly down your planet. You can have a planet full of hobos made of leaves.
wallpaper skeletons. Help me. And a fucking cat flamethrower. Just like,
just running.
that would be so cool. I would play the fuck out of that game.
So would I, actually.
Because No Man's Sky
You would
is
go into
essentially
every
just that.
building and like open every cupboard and be like,
oh, yeah.
nail clippers.
Yeah.
What can I do with nail clippers?
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, I'll use the I'll use this screwdriver to take the whole cupboard itself off. Boom.
But then you go
got
down
the
to
whole
the
cupboard.
inevitable subreddit and you find out that nail clippers are great, like 4 evolutions up of making fucked up things.
Yep.
Where suddenly you incorporate it and becomes like Jaws of your world, like Godzilla.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing is like
It just takes that nail
and
clipper.
again, if it was like procedurally generated, so like these are almost like randomized creations, again, like going up in the cloud, if you're the first one to think about putting these 6 things together, and you could, there'd probably be almost a nearly infinite number of combinations, because once you have tens of thousands of items in the world, you essentially could almost like No Man's Sky, where there's so many planets that it's going to be rare to even like track one down unless you intentionally go. So you're going to be able to create something for the first time, name it, and then go up to the cloud. Then if somebody else stumbles across that recipe, and then you could also post your recipes online, be like, hey, check this thing out. I got this, whatever. And it's named after you, and it tells people like this was discovered by so-and-so.
I would make an entire world of baking soda uncles and octopus bear traps.
Just riding meerkat dildos.
And meerkat dildos.
Back to the story. I'm loving this idea though. So just so we can get through the rest of the story before we
I like
sign
baking
off,
soda uncle.
Help me!
Yeah, it's like once again, there should be like tiers when you make it, like success tiers.
You can find an uncle in the wild. I like the thought of that.
But also success tiers, like every item has a success like roll, like a dice roll. So say your success rate's really low and you make a sentient type thing, it can run around and be like, kill me, because your roll was so low on success. You can do an octopus bear trap that has a high roll for success and it's an apex predator.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, you should also be able to like occasionally things you don't know up front because it's randomized whether or not it's going to be plantable. So you can plant an uncle and like an uncle tree pops up. So you can actually have something be like plantable.
Everything.
Plantable, and like
everything's plantable.
And just something that spawns more of those things will end up, but you don't like know what the plant eats, so you're like planting other things underneath it to
success
like try
rate
to feed
for
it.
Planting too, healthy, unhealthy tree. Unhealthy tree, it's hanging uncles
like
hanging uncles by man buns.
Yeah, little preemie uncles.
And if it's unhealthy, they're screaming until you water them or feed them. It's like the whole tree of screaming men.
And you just like have to like build a fucking container around it to like take the screams in. Oh my god, I love it. And you can use everything to build. So you can build like walls out of baking soda uncles.
You put octopus bear traps underneath screaming uncle fruit,
dude. I would play
when they ripen and fall, they fall right into the bear traps.
I would play this game so hard, man. The best crafting game idea. This is one of my favorites. I wish games didn't take like 10 years to fucking make on your own. But God, you're gonna be able to find like
if we legitimately knew how to make one, we could have it made in 15 years.
I bet there's probably because there's a bunch of engines and stuff out there. There's probably some survival game engine out there that you tweak in like Unity or something like that. Granted, it would still take years to make,
and you can make it PvP as well as PvE. Like you could literally have like the uncles could hurt you, and another player could shoot down from space, land on your planet, and hurt you, but he's also got all the other shit to deal with.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is you don't know when you land on somebody's planet like what they've planted, like how many apex predators they've got.
You might want to be defensive. Have predators. So if someone tries to come at you,
so you come down there with like your kitten flamethrower, so you can like defend yourself against God knows what. But you don't even know if that.
And literally, it's God knows what. Like this is the most fucked up level stuff. You do not know what you're about to face. You do not
know what, and you don't even know if your kitten flamethrower is gonna do any damage to it, because you're gonna have to have some elemental aspects, like fire can hurt this, water can hurt this, almost Pokemon style or whatever. But like that would be so fucking fun.
Yeah, when you have like your like Ford. Is Ford Chevy a brand of car?
Those are two makes.
In this world, we have a Ford Chevy Elephant.
The fact that it's not,
and you're
it's
not
a
ready for
car.
that. You're not ready for that.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's an elephant. I
thought that was the horn on a Ford and a Chevy.
No, that's me just completely freaking out and forgetting what an elephant sounds like. That's a horse
everything
elephant.
By the way, even natural disasters. Like I want a skeleton tornado. Just skeletons in a tornado.
Yep. Oh my god.
And it whips them out at you.
That'd be so much fun. Yes. Oh god, I wish I could fucking make this game right now. Or just had it to play.
Quicksand that's acid.
That just sounds cool.
Like you just trip as you fall into it, so you can't get out of it.
Create like a whole moat of just quicksand acid.
Yep.
Where it's just eating you up.
Meth gators. Wait, those already exist.
Those exist. We've covered those on the show. Anyway, I feel like I should probably finish up the story because it might be the last one. We might be able to get to some of the headline ones. But so anyway, this news exhibit, this crafting table, we've decided to call it. Looks like a fungus, acts like an animal. The thing that's cool about it, like I said, the 720 sexes is actually not even.
Oh, that's how we got there.
Yep.
Holy shit,
720 sexes.
I'm sorry. Like I was like thinking, how did we get to that game idea?
The tangents are fucking crazy by the time we get done. This thing can move without legs, and it can heal itself. If you cut it in half, it heals itself in 2 minutes.
I've seen people who can move without legs too, Chair. That's insensitive.
I didn't say it was bad. I said it was pretty good. Look at this little Paralympic.
You sound impressed like you've never seen it before. You've never seen a wheelchair?
Well, this thing isn't using a wheelchair. It's like seeing I guess people can crawl across, but not without legs. This thing just like across the pavement. Anyway, so this the thing that I thought was the coolest about this is it has no brain, but it's somehow able to learn. And not only that, if you actually merge two blobs, one of them that has the knowledge, quote unquote, will actually transfer it to the other one, so it will become. They will actually merge their knowledge together into a single entity.
So is this an alien?
It sounds like an alien, doesn't it? It's a blob, a unicellular blob. The reason they called it a blob is it reminded them of like the blob from the horror movie, which just slowly takes over and consumes Philadelphia, if I recall.
Have they
or at
tried
least the original?
Have they tried feeding it the brain of something else to see if it could learn from it?
Here's the thing: is it actually doesn't.
I would throw a mouse brain at it and see if it could suddenly like eat cheese and do mazes and.
The thing about it is actually
mice thing.
It doesn't. It has no mouth or stomach.
Well,
and no eyes, but it
it
can detect food and digest it. So it doesn't have any digesting like functions like a stomach or anything like that, but it can eat and digest. And it has no mouth.
This is about as strange to us as a virus, which
It's so
doesn't meet
fucking cool.
all the definitions of life.
And this is a blob that can move and eat you and heal itself, Terminator style. It's so fucking cool.
Sweet.
And we got that sweet game out of it. So win.
Maybe one of those blobs like ate my baby. Like maybe my baby was on the ground and like the blob just rolled over. Now maybe there's like a super smart blob out there because my baby was as smart as me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And now it's like just rolling around being all hot and being all cool.
Yeah.
Like
I call it
me.
Smart Baby. That's why I named my new baby Smart Baby 2. But I'm pretty sure it was a blob. I shouldn't have asked the blob maybe to like babysit.
If she fucking names her baby Casey too, I will lose my understanding.
What was the name of Casey's kid originally?
Kaylee.
It was almost the same. Yeah, it's Kaylee Anthony. So Kaylee 2. Kaylee the sequel, but it's a reboot.
Kaylee, more like Failey.
Yeah.
She couldn't take a shovel like a man.
I know, man. Because I was getting railed.
My next baby,
if she wasn't,
my next baby, it's gonna take a shovel like a man.
I know
it's
that.
gonna take a shovel. It's gonna wear a G-string, and it's gonna be in porn with me.
Make your own money.
Mother-daughter porn.
Yeah, make your own money,
My
child.
last baby didn't want to be in mother-daughter porn, so I made her lay in a dirt bowl.
But I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. She was like, I would lay in a dirt ball.
I'm innocent.
And then she was like, Mom, I'm really young but advanced for my age, so I'm asking you questions from my dirt ball.
Yeah.
Can you put a dirt blanket on me?
Yeah, so I put a dirt blanket on it, and then she shut the fuck up, and now she's part of Arbor Day.
Are we done? Are we done?
I think we're done because we do have a song. I don't know which song, but I'm gonna play another Sonic Jalopy creepy song. We've got to the end of the story. We got 3 minutes left. I think going out on that note, it's actually pretty good.
I can't.
So I'll be enjoy whatever song I pick for you all. And happy Arbor Day.
Happy Arbor Day, everyone. Get lost.
Get lost.